In the last video, we talked about why self-trust collapses and why that doesn't mean you're broken. In this video, we're going to name what actually happens underneath that collapse, the part most people never see while it's happening. This is still orientation. Nothing here requires fixing, just notice what clicks. One of the most destabilizing thoughts people have later is, how did I lose myself without realizing it? That question usually turns into self-blame, but the real answer isn't about weakness, blindness, or poor judgment. It's about a quiet shift in how your system learned to stay safe. Losing yourself doesn't happen because you stop caring about who you are. It happens because, little by little, your attention moves away from your internal reference and towards managing the environment. You don't stop checking in with yourself, you just start checking the situation first. Early on, it looks like maturity. You pause before reacting, you give the benefit of the doubt, you try to understand the other person's perspective. None of that is wrong. In fact, those are usually strengths. The shift happens when your system starts prioritizing stability over truth. Over time, your internal questions change. Instead of asking, what do I feel? What doesn't sit right? You start asking, did I misunderstand? Am I being unfair? What will keep this from escalating? That's the moment your internal reference begins to move outward. Not consciously, not dramatically, just enough to keep calm. From the inside, this doesn't feel like losing yourself. It feels like being responsible, being regulated, being thoughtful. And because each adjustment makes sense on its own, you don't notice the cumulative effect. But over time, your identity starts organizing around managing the environment instead of trusting your internal signals. This is important to hear. What you were doing wasn't weakness. It was adaptation. Your system learned that safety came from monitoring, adjusting, and anticipating, not from relying on your internal authority. That's not a character flaw. It's a conditioned survival response. This is why people often say, I don't even know who I am anymore. It's not because your identity disappeared. It's because it was set aside for so long that it stopped feeling accessible. The system did what it was trained to do. If this is starting to explain things you couldn't put words to before, there's a clear, structured way to continue, one step at a time, without rushing. You can find that below if and when you're ready. And if not, that's okay. You're welcome to stay right here and go at your own pace. The next part of this process looks at why staying as long as you did doesn't mean what you think it means, and why the story you've been telling yourself about it is often far harsher than the truth. Take care.